I found this comment challenging and intriguing. I want to share it with everybody. I made a video that really isn't popular, and it never will be, but I made one called, "Why are African American women so open-minded to my vegan lifestyle?" And I mentioned in another video, I'll say it again. Who's not open-minded, who's very closed-minded and openly, passionately against my vegan lifestyle is older white men who are overweight and have onset diabetes. They're against it, yet the vegan lifestyle would be the most beneficial to them. They're the most against it. African American women are very open-minded. The comment I received, Connie Payne, says, quote, "Where are you meeting these black women? The gym? Vegetarian restaurants? I would assume you come into contact with white men everywhere, including your family. Perhaps you only come into contact with more progressive black women because average black women are not in your circles," end quote. And that's fair to say. You know, even the neighborhood I live in, you know, predominantly white, but there's a lot of mixed families. There's a lot represented here. But yeah, overall, I'm more likely to come into contact with white people in general. If I do come in contact with people who are African American, a lot of times it's a mixed family where the dad's black and the mom's white, or vice versa, or whatever. So I think this is challenging though. Is this possible that the reason the African American women I encounter are so open-minded to me being a vegan is because they're already progressive thinkers, such as myself, such as a man who doesn't care about asking difficult questions about race and in order to become enlightened and have an open mind on those things. Is it possible that these women are just more progressive because the places I end up going outside of my house are going to be where like-minded people like I am, because I am a vegan? Is that a possibility? And I'd say yes, it's definitely a possibility. I'm trying to think of an exception when I've met an African American woman who was very open-minded about me being a vegan, which is all of them. I've never met an African woman who wasn't just over the top interested in it. Compared to older white men who are overweight and have diabetes, are very closed-minded to it. I went to Louisville, Kentucky, and I stayed at the hotel there. And the lady that worked in the gift shop, I was getting a souvenir. No, this was Detroit a couple years ago. I was getting a gift for my son at the souvenir shop there in the hotel, and she ran the store there. And I was getting a snack because the dinner didn't quite fill me up, so I got some kind of, I don't know, power bar or whatever. And I was just in casual conversation, I mentioned it, and she was like over the top into it, wanted to know more about how I overcame my eczema and sinusitis and pet allergies by becoming a vegan, which is my testimony there. And I mean, that was more of a random thing, because I don't think working in a gift shop in a hotel is necessarily a situation where you're going to find more progressive people than say Whole Foods or something like that. But overall, I think there's a lot to take away from this comment. I think there's a lot of truth in it, is what I'm trying to say. I think that, and I think it's even a reflection of this channel, because you know my theme, you know my agenda. It's to bring people together by having honest, open conversations we have about race and ethnicity that most people are too afraid to have, lest it bring out the racist in someone. But when you're truly not a racist and you just want to celebrate that instead, this is a progressive channel. I feel that way. I feel that what I'm doing on YouTube on this channel is a progressive thing. And it's, for the most part, going to attract progressive people who also don't want to be affiliated at all with racism. Instead, they want to help personally become the furthest thing they can be from racist, because they want to see all people as equal, despite their gender or ethnicity or nationality. So I think it's possible that progressive people are going to end up being around progressive people, despite their race or despite their ethnicity. That could be the case. I wouldn't say that every African American woman I met who was intrigued by me being a vegan was necessarily progressive or not. I can't say that for sure, but I think that the theory in itself could have merit. I got to be honest, one of the things I like about my channel is I'm able to interact with people who are black, who are African American, which I say the more interaction I can have, the better. The less I'm going to be a guy who's just simply culturally white and I can understand different perspectives. But it's not just black people. It's all people. It's Muslim people, and it's Spanish people, and it's Jewish people, and it's Mexican people. Everybody. It's not just people who are black. It's everybody that I want to gain all of your perspectives. I don't want to be the dumb American. I don't. I don't want to be the dumb American who only says, America, yeah, let's go attack the Middle East. Let's show them who's boss. I don't want to be that guy. I want to have a worldly perspective, not just a national perspective. That's what I'm looking to do. So, this is a progressive channel, I feel. I feel I'm a progressive person, and I think progressive people are going to connect because of how progressive they are. But the jury's still out on why, demographically, African American women have 100% of the time been very open-minded and intrigued by being a vegan. Whereas on the other hand, 100% of all outspoken men who have been against me being a vegan were older, white, overweight, and had onset diabetes. I just want to stress that. It's a very predictable thing. I always like looking for patterns, and I'm fascinated by that. The people who most likely desperately need to become vegan are the most closed-minded. And then here's these lovely African American women who I get to share my experiences with about me being a vegan. And it's always a pleasure to speak with them. I've still got question marks, but ultimately, I do find it interesting that being progressive in our thinking is something that's, if nothing else, bringing us together now.